Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today with my in-depth analysis for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order's reveal trailer. This time we're going to be digging into every single screenshot, extracting every detail we possibly can throughout the trailer, and there will be no moving footage. EA has historically been weird with my in-depth analysis videos, and this was my only way to get around their system, so I do hope you understand that decision. Also, do keep in mind that on Monday I'll be having a full discussion / opinion video on the reveal trailer along with the panel, so do stay tuned for that. But now let's get into this trailer and extract everything we possibly can, starting off with the first frame where we see our protagonist Cal Kestis. He is a surviving Padawan, as I'm sure most of you have heard, as this game takes place directly after the purge of the Order 66, where all the Jedi Order was taken out. Now he's being hunted down along with any other Force sensitive out there, and he's trying to keep his head low. He's trying to stay undercover, not get detected, just live an honest man's life. But he's going to be hunted across the galaxy as this story goes on. He's acted by Cameron Monaghan, who I am personally most familiar with his role as the Joker in Gotham, which I thought he did a fantastic job with. I mean, he nailed the laugh, he nailed the role, and I really enjoyed that show for the time I did watch it, so I am pretty confident in the casting. In the following shot, we see a door being forced open, and then afterwards the light reveals on a table a Jedi Order symbol. You can see it side by side here. If you flip the image over, it's even more clear exactly what it is. And what I thought was this was a part of the trailer that was designed to have a sense of symbolism, since it's really hard to extract what's happening directly in the story or even in the game aside from the details Respawn had given us. So here's my bit of speculation, is that this is designed to signify hope / optimism, which was a core theme throughout the panel following this reveal trailer from the development team. Hell, the title of the game is Fallen Order, and now we see the light shining through the door on the Order's symbol there, and we see our main character discovering it, and they also emphasize that he has to face his past in this game, which means that obviously that is Order 66 and how that impacted Cal as a person. So I'm assuming he's discovering this for the first time, and he's going to set out to help restore the Order, or at least fight back in some way against the Empire. Cal says that the first rule to survive is trust no one, and the way they delivered it in the trailer I actually really liked. We see Cal at a bar having a chat with a fellow alien, and then in the background we can see some stormtroopers, and when the trailer audio says trust no one, he looks over his shoulder, he recognizes they're there, and then afterwards we can actually see Cal on a new planet. This will all tie together in a second, so just stick with me. This planet is called Baraka. It is one of the mid-rim planets, and Cal is a part of a guild called the Scrapper Guild, who tears apart derelict starships, sells them for credits, and these derelict starships are mostly from the Clone Wars. Anyway, as they're tearing apart one of these starships, things quite literally start to fall apart, and we see Cal's new alien friend, we'll call him, fall off the starship, clearly to his death. So it made me start thinking, when they say trust no one, is it trust no one because the Empire's hunting him and he doesn't want to get anyone killed because of him, or is it trust no one because anyone he gets close to dies? I mean, hell, if he was a part of the Jedi Order and then the entire Order got purged by the Empire, everyone close to him is probably dead, and I think that was recognized here in the trailer once more. Once again, I'm digging in for some symbolism here, since a lot of the details that we received at face value were directly from the development team, so those are fact. However, the highlight I feel when it comes to new characters being added into the story is definitely the second sister Inquisitor. So there is the Inquisitorius, which is from actually Star Wars Rebels, and this is a part of them, and they're designed to hunt down Force sensitive folks, and we can actually see that this second sister Inquisitor can use the Force, which is pretty cool given her droid form, so to speak. And we actually know that's the case because at the end of the trailer, we see the second sister attached to the ship, put her hand out, start moving it a little bit, and then we see the hand of the pilot of that ship start moving as well, and then it goes back to her and you see her hand continue to twist. A really cool addition, and easily my favorite concept of the entire trailer. Now, the way the trailer does deliver this sequence can maybe catch the viewer off guard a bit because they show the Inquisitor, then they do a black screen, and then they show Cal, and it's designed to kind of show a separation and not let the viewer piece things together until they really slow things down, that these are both a part of the same scene given the background. So we see Cal recognize, oh snap, that's the second sister Inquisitor, and he books it. He does not want to fight, he does not want to get captured, and I believe this is stuff happening in the opening section of the game. Anyway, being on the run is quite a common thing in this trailer because now we see some stormtroopers whose models look fantastic raining hell down on Cal, and actually there is a new trooper being added into Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order called the Purge Trooper. Pretty much the Purge Troopers were designed to investigate possible locations of remaining Jedis, and once they did encounter these Force-sensitive people, they would send in the Inquisitors to assassinate them, and it created an interesting system. So chances are in the gameplay, the Purge Troopers will come in bulk as support, and the Inquisitors are going to be the main enemies. There are only really 2 points throughout this trailer where we see something that could actually be a sense of what the gameplay will deliver. I'm going to emphasize now, this is clearly one of them, as we see Cal start wall running, and the most important part is he sticks his hand out, he clutches his fist, he brings it closer to his chest, and he pulls himself off the wall and onto the ledge. So hopefully there will be a lot of open environments to explore, and that Respawn gets really creative with how we can get around, and stuff like this is things I have dreamed of in a Star Wars game. I know it's not a huge feature, but just getting around using the Force can be a valuable tool for developers. So I'm really excited to see Respawn actually put that into action. After all of that is a moment of peace and quiet. We see Cal kneeling over a fallen clone trooper, and on the right side of the screen we encounter his best friend, BD-1, or as the development team likes to call him, Buddy Droid 1. So maybe there's more than one droid that'll be joining our team down the line. They emphasize he's not a sidekick, but a best friend. They are equals, and actually we got a little bit of gameplay details here where we learned that one of the things that BD-1 can do is use a spotlight, and it is one of many tools, so to say, that you can find and upgrade. So when they started mentioning that BD-1 is going to be this equal to you and he will have tools that you can use and upgrade, it started to give me vibes of God of War on PS4 and how Atreus and Kratos ended up almost being equals because both were as valuable as possible in combat. It was a system that worked well together, and they did define their combat system as thoughtful. So if Cal has a wonderful skill set and then on top of that BD-1 is integral to that, I think they could actually have something special here. Now this part keys into what the development team was emphasizing, which is Cal facing his past. You see him looking at the order from the Emperor saying Order 66, kill all the Jedi, which then will lead us to this next shot where we see a more tranquil Cal, a less troubled Cal, who's sitting crisscross applesauce at the fire. We see a ship in the background. This generally signifies that his adventure has begun, and now he's starting to seek answers after what has happened in his past. Once again, BD-1 is at his side, and I think that'll be a good thing for the story. I just don't want it to be too formulaic, right? Because we always see the optimistic protagonist, the droid at his side, the quirky cast surrounding him since, well, A New Hope. Now this is the second part, I feel, where we can actually get a look at what the gameplay for Jedi Fallen Order will look like. Combat begins where we see the Pike knock the lightsaber out of Cal's hand. He force pushes back. After that, he dodges an attack, and this is the one-on-one combat that I think Respawn was really emphasizing on being thoughtful. Afterwards, he actually catches the Pike in his hands and starts getting pushed back, and he has to use the Force to stop the fan. Now, will there be as much environmental interaction at the same time as dueling one-on-one with someone? We'll have to wait and see. But I thought this was a good depiction of what we can expect to do in the gameplay, and that it's not going to be hack and slash, but more so actually dueling, which is something that a lot of us have wanted to see in Star Wars games. Now, I'm a fan, for example, of Star Wars Force Unleashed. I thought that was an excellent game, but the combat was very XXY, XXYY. You know, it was constantly the same thing. So having more thoughtful combat is very good for this game, and I'm happy they're pursuing that. Anyway, next we have Seer, who is played by Deborah Wilson. She is a former Jedi Knight. She she pretty much mentors Cal, but they define it as not a traditional Padawan-master relationship, and instead Seer, BD1, and Cal, along with other members that will be joining them on their adventure, become a big, strange family, which is an approach I like. I was a bit nervous when I saw, oh boy, the Jedi Knight who's going to help Cal get his powers and find himself, and then his quirky little droid's going to be the comedic relief. It's not bad, it's just very familiar. So I was happy that they started to define relationships in a different way. Once again, this is a wait and see approach I do have for the game, but I am happy to see that they're taking a slightly different approach, at least mentally, on it. Anyway, during this scene, we see Cal is running towards the ship. She's reaching out her arm, and what's important to emphasize is this is not a continuation of the scene earlier where Cal was wall running. In fact, he has a completely different outfit on. In the scene where he's reaching out for Seer, he has a hood on. When he is running away from the stormtroopers shooting at him, completely different outfit. He leaps onto the ship. We see Seer and Cal together, and obviously this is the point where, as I mentioned earlier, the Inquisitor hops on the ship and uses the Force to twist the handle. And last, but certainly not least, was easily the most hype gameplay detail of the entire post-trailer panel, which was absolutely when they told us that this lightsaber that Cal is holding grows and evolves, meaning yes, there is going to be some type of elements in the game with progression. We heard that with BD1. Now we're hearing it here with Cal's lightsaber. It seems to be a core pillar in the gameplay design, which will push us forward, keep us having different builds maybe, but more than anything, I love the speculation I was seeing online. Some people were saying double-sided lightsaber, some were saying that it's his former master's lightsaber. I really liked all those ideas, but personally, I'm hoping that we can just change the color, change the crystals, give me that KOTOR lightsaber customization for the love of God. And that is pretty much it. There is not a ton of details we can dig out of this trailer, and that is something that I'll get into during Monday's discussion, on top of why I really don't feel like these reveals with CGI trailers are exciting as a gamer anymore. I feel we are past those times, but like I said, I will have a very extensive discussion on that, so I do hope you look forward to that. But I wanted to make sure, as a big Star Wars fan, and as someone who's really, along with all of you, holding out for a good Star Wars game to finally happen. I think Battlefront 2 got on the right track, but it's almost a little too late at this point. So I'm really crossing my fingers for Jedi Fallen Order to be something great and original, more importantly. But I want to hear your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Personally, I'm holding back a lot of my excitement until I see gameplay, but what do you think? Fire away. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that, as it fuels all the content I create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.